How's it going, guys? My name is Jerry with Aesthetic Auto Detailing. Today we're going to work on this Corvette. The topic of the video is going to be how fast we can knock out this maintenance service and the importance of having maintenance clients.
All right, Jerry. So, who do we have today, man, for help?
So today we have both of my brothers. We're going to work on this Corvette right here. This client, he's been a client of mine for about 2 years now. We have my brothers Joseph and Josh, and we're going to see how fast we can knock it out.
All right, man. What are you thinking? How long will it take you guys?
I would say maybe the most like 45 minutes.
All right, Jerry, can you break down who's doing what?
All right, so really it doesn't matter on like exactly who we have doing something, but what I like to focus on is making sure that somebody's always doing something. So for example, Josh, he's going around rinsing off all the tires really quick. I'm going to grab the spray bottles and I'm going to spray the next tire for Joseph. Take into account the two tires on the right side, they're gonna be exposed to the sun. So I try not to spray them right away just because I don't want the tires, the wheels, kind of like baking in the sun with the chemicals on them already. So I kind of wait until he gets a little closer to that. But on this side, I'll spray it ahead of time. That way we give the chemicals a little bit of time to work.
Now, Jerry, this structure of training people, you think you got it down? Or there's still some places you want to improve or change?
You know what? For right now, for like the maintenance washes, I for sure got it down. The only thing is that I noticed when I'm trying to teach people more of like the bigger jobs, like polishing, just using the polisher in itself, or even interior wipe downs, I got to start them off small, just because there's certain parts of the vehicle that you don't want to use with like all-purpose cleaner. Like for example, the touchscreens. Touchscreens are very sensitive. The trim on the interior, like that plastic, like wood or whatever, the plastic, you can't just go over that with all-purpose cleaner because majority of the time it leaves it streaked. So what you want to do is, you could use it to clean up whatever dirty area, but what I like to do is go over it. I finish with a glass cleaner because it doesn't leave any streaks. Little things like that, you got to take into account, especially when you're working with people that aren't too familiar with detailing. Because if they're gonna just wipe it off with all-purpose cleaner, they're gonna think it's cool and that's it. So in my earlier days, when I was like having my buddies help me detail, they would do that and I wouldn't look over their work because to me it was like, okay, it's trusted. But I learned over time that I would get that call, hey, the plastic in the Tesla was like a little streaked or this and that. And I started realizing like, okay, I gotta be on top of these people.
What's one tip you have for that detailer that wants to hire help but has never trained anybody? What would you tell them? Like, don't be mean, don't scream.
Well, it's like, you don't get frustrated with people, they're learning. I think one thing that I've always kind of like try to take into account when I'm training people is I always try to think of it like, how was I when I first started, we've all had like different jobs or side jobs, whatever, and somebody's teaching you something and they get frustrated with you, they're kind of rude about it, they talk to you like you're stupid. So I try to avoid doing that because it's not a great feeling, Another thing is I try to teach people things that I wish I knew when I was learning. Some people might think of it like, oh, well, no, like, I'm going to keep that information to myself. I try not to gatekeep things, So if I can make things easier for people that are learning, I'll just go ahead and do it because, some people may think of it as just like, oh, well, you guys are training like your future competition. I don't really think about my competition, honestly. I think that's the best way to do it. Just stay in your lane. You give out good into the world and you're going to get good back.
And now, I hear there's a lot from other detailers. They're training somebody. He's too slow. He doesn't listen. He keeps messing up.
Yeah.
What do you got to tell those detailers about that? Like, hey, cut him off, he's no good, or people patient?
You know what? You got to do what's best for you, man, because I've done the whole, like, trying to be patient with the person, and I always try to look for the good in people, but you got to think like you're running a business, and you got to do what's best for the business, ultimately. So if you got to cut ties with them, and just continue doing the best thing for yourself. Hey, but you detailers that have employees, drop a tip down below so we could all help each other.
All right, Jared, so something you mentioned was that sometimes you have to stay on top of employees to make sure they do everything right. But I noticed you actually let some go do maintenance jobs for you.
Oh, yeah.
How do you balance that out? How do you figure that out?
So Maintenance jobs are usually the easier ones, but the people that I do let go do them by themselves, my buddy Sal, my two brothers, and my dad. They're the ones that have been with me since the very beginning, so obviously they have been there when I first started the business. They were there when we kind of made some tweaks and we are just kind of like, hey, you know what do you guys think about this? Should we take this out? You know, should we like change up the method on how we do things? So all those people that I just mentioned, we all know already like how to work, what to do. So when any of them are together or when I'm with them, none of that needs to be said. Everybody just already knows what to do.
All right, Jerry, and next employee, someone who wants to start a detailing business or someone who has no experience, what would you go for?
You know what? If it's gonna be somebody that wants to start their own detailing business, I'll probably just offer them like, you know, my ride along, like training or like even like a little mentorship thing. But I started to like catch on to where I think maybe no experience is probably better. Just like the big corporations, you know, they like the people that don't have experience because you get to teach them your way. They teach them their way, and that's kind of all they know. So, you know, there's pros and cons for each party. Hey, but let me know, guys. Do you guys hire people with experience or no experience? Let me know that in the comments below.
All right, Jerry, we're about 30 minutes in, man. Where you at with the detail? What's everybody doing?
Almost finished already. Josh, usually what I have him do is after we drive the car, he does the door jambs, tires, and the windows. Joseph's doing the wipe down. I'm about to finish with the vacuum. As soon as I finish up with the vacuum, I'm gonna start packing up.
And Jerry,
yeah.
One thing I noticed is that you guys don't even talk to each other. Everything okay at home, bro?
Yeah, everything's cool, man. Usually, we all just pop in our AirPods. Everybody knows what to do already. Unless there's like something that stands out to us and we see something, we'll tell each other like, hey, make sure like that gets wiped down. It's not so much that we're telling each other like, make sure you do it. It's just more so that like, if we forget, somebody remembers.
All right, Jerry, almost done with the detail.
Yes, sir.
Hey, believe it or not, bro, there's some detailers out there that don't like doing maintenance.
I love them, man. I love them. Obviously, you know, bigger jobs are always fun too. But the reason why I love the maintenance is because when you see all the detailers, you know, especially like winter, it's like, oh man, business is slow, this and that. I always have them, always.
But Jerry, that means also during the summer, do you feel like you're leaving a lot of money on the table because you can't focus on full details? You have so many maintenance?
You know what? Yes and no. Usually in my experience, I usually just work like 12 hours a day. So during the summer, I was working 12-hour days, and that's when my prices were like way cheaper. So you know how it goes, guys. We're doing more work, less money kind of thing, you know? So now I'm in a different position to where I'm still keeping busy, but you know, making more money. So not so many words, I guess it's more like you're doing less work and getting kind of paid the same, getting more money. So I'm very grateful for that because I have amazing clients and I have a lot that have been with me for you know, years at this point. And I look forward to continue growing, and I really enjoy the whole like one-on-one communication and experience with the clients because they start to like realize that I'm passionate about it. It's not just about the money. You guys have heard me say it in many videos. If I didn't like what I do, if I didn't love what I do, you know, I probably wouldn't have lasted as long as I do.
Right, Jerry, so 40 minutes. Somebody might say you could have hit that same time with 2 employees, you and a helper.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've done it. So I don't always have 2 other people with me. It's not always 3 people. The thing is that I had to go take care of my VIP clients today. I usually take care of all their vehicles on Saturdays, but their Escalade wasn't there on Saturday. So they asked me if I could go back on Monday, today, and I was ready to take my brother Josh, and my brother Joseph was like, hey man, you know, I don't have anything going on. You mind if I tag along? So that's how that happened. And then I just told him like, well, just have that vehicle, then I have the Corvette. And you know, it was just, sometimes it's just, you know, just to either make some extra money or really just to hang out with the brothers. Yeah, so it was cool.
Hey, it helps while we're recording too.
Yeah, exactly.
And Jerry, people are gonna say, okay, 40 minutes, great time.
Yeah.
But what about the time setting up, talking to the customer, and at the end, reviewing it with the customer?
So talking to every client is different because some clients, all they do is unlock their vehicle. They have me do the work. I let them know that I'm heading out, and that's it. Usually Some clients are on at that point to where they don't need to look over the car. It's more like trust based, you know. And you know, obviously I always tell them like, hey, if you guys see something stands out to you, feel free to let me know. I'd be more than happy to, you know, to fix it. And then yeah, like all clients are different really. As for setting up, it was 3 of us, so I mean, we probably set everything up and packed everything up in less than 5 minutes. All right, guys, so that's how we knocked out our maintenance service. But let me know, what other video topics would you like to see? Let me know down in the comments below and we'll make it happen for you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay blessed.